All right, Kathy Perry here. And we're going to talk a little bit about making money doing what you love. And so, one of our big focuses here is really on creating something transformational in terms of products and services. So, let's just jump right into this. So, why do we want to do this? Well, don't you want to create the life you want and maybe make money doing something that you really enjoy? Maybe you really genuinely want to help people. Maybe you want to have more freedom and flexibility in your life. And maybe you want to work from home or work wherever you are, wherever you want to go. Maybe you want to create a legacy. Maybe you want to make a meaningful impact on the world. And maybe you want to create products and offer services that add value, that really make a difference to people. And maybe you want to change people's lives, yours, your families, and even the lives of complete strangers. Or maybe you just want more enjoyment out of your own life. Maybe you just want, just to set your own schedule. Maybe you want to be able to travel more, and maybe you would just want to go places you've never been before. Maybe you want to invest in yourself and your own ideas and your own interests instead of working for someone else. Because when we invest in ourselves, we get to keep those skill sets. We get to take that with us when we go, so to speak. Whenever we invest in ourselves and improve ourselves, that is ours to keep. No one can take that away from us. So the question is, well, what are my options? What can I create, that other people are going to want? And what is it that I have to offer? It's just me. What do I have that I can put out there? And then the last question is like, where do I start? How do I get all this going? You know, when we want to do it, let's reverse the question and go, well, what are people willing to pay for? And the big answer is people are willing to pay for products and services that add value to their lives. And when we do this, when we produce something that adds value to other people's lives, then that it's a win-win. People really want what we have to provide. So people are going to pay for things that solve a problem in their lives. So we can start thinking about, well, what problems do people have? You look around you and look at the people in your neighborhood or the people that you know. What kind of problems do they have? And do they want those problems solved? That's another really good question, because if they don't want the problem solved, they're not going to pay for it. So people also want to pay for things that fulfill a need, something that they're missing in their life, something where they feel lack, or they really need something to help them. They're going to pay for things that give them assistance. And also people are going to pay for things that bring them joy, right? And really make them feel good. So what types of things are this? What types of things that add value? So people will pay for things that will keep them from harm. They'll pay for security, they'll pay for, locks on the door and things like that. People are going to pay for entertainment. They're going to pay for hobbies. There's a lot of money in golf. There's a lot of money in different sports, kayaking and paddle boards. Look around and see what's trending and all the sort of different things that people are going to pay for. And they pay for lessons for this entertainment and hobby, and they pay for the physical products, right? There's all sorts of different markets within these niches. And people are going to pay for things that save them time and save them energy and save them money. So, that's that whole thing. If you have more time, you can have different ways of making money. So all three are important. We always look at that when we're looking for things to purchase. And people are willing to pay for things that bring them transformation, whether that makes them healthier, whether that makes them wealthier, maybe, that it brings them more skill sets and more knowledge and just makes them feel more vibrational. People are going to pay for transformation. So what value-added product or services would you like to deliver to your ideal customer? Maybe it's physical products. Maybe it's T-shirts or bumper stickers or something that people can carry around, mugs, or maybe you want to make your own physical products, and sell them at farmers markets, or maybe you really want to get big and sell something, a physical product on a more global scale. Maybe you want to sell courses and information. So because when you take something and you organize and you structure a path for people to follow, you create a roadmap. It makes life a lot easier for the person who comes behind you. Instead of taking the machete and trying to whack your way through the bush all the time, if someone else has created a roadmap for you, something to follow, this can make people's lives a lot easier. And then there's the service category. There's things like, one of the things we're going to talk about a lot later is sort of healing businesses and things like that that provide services for people. But there's all sorts of services. There's services that make people's lives easier, and there's services that someone doesn't have time to do. They want to start a business, and they want to do particular things, but they don't want to do others. Like, for example, writing. Some people don't feel that they write very well, but writing is a very important aspect of a business. And so a lot of times people will outsource writing, or they'll outsource web design, or they'll outsource writing emails and doing these other things because they want to focus on the core of their business. So there's always services that you can do to support other people's businesses. Okay, so we are all capable of adding value. We want to share what we know well with those who don't. We all have strengths, so we have strengths, other people have strengths, and we can share these strengths, and we can exponentially add to each other. We all have our own interests, our own passions, and when we find that niche, we can really excel in it. We're going to want to spend time on it. We want to get skilled at it. And so we're wanting to get to that place where we could really add value. So someone somewhere wants to know more about something that you already know now. Well, and even if that's knitting, there is a huge market for knitting, because knitting can provide joy for people, and it can be very soothing and sort of almost meditational. And so this is why, you should not overlook even the simple things in life. You just need to see that area and see, well, where is the market for things like that. Okay, so it's never too late to start doing what you love to do, and you can do this. So what do we do next? How do we get here? Well, what we have for you is a free video series to get you started on this journey to discovery, where we're going to talk about things that take us further down this path. So what are we going to cover? Well, we're going to cover different niches or market segments or markets, and how we need to approach them or research them, including some examples of some inspired niches, such as healing, where we'll sort of look into it for you and sort of point out where some areas are and what some other people are doing, and what you might want to consider doing, and how to offer it. We're going to provide some perspective on different types of business models and how best to enter the market for each type of model, and how you can combine different models for one particular niche, so you can sort of be multifaceted. And we're going to introduce you to some resources and places you can go to find the tools that you're going to need to succeed in this business. So, are we excited? So just click the button and register, and you can get started right away watching some of these videos. Okay, I will talk to you on the inside.